Today I'm playing some Oblivion Remastered. Got the game going on my new PC and spent some time figuring out how to get out of the tutorial zone. And now I'm just embarking on some of those initial first quests to get a feel for the game. And it really is a beautiful game, I gotta say. Being able to explore Central Tamriel and see Cyrodiil and all of its glory without the issues of PvP combat, which exist in ESO, is really cool. And I think I have nothing but pleasant things to say about Oblivion Remastered. I think it was a huge win to see that game come out, and it really has been amazing to see all of the fan community saying nice things about how gaming has transformed their lives and how the Elder Scrolls series transformed their lives in many cases. And oftentimes people who were teenagers when Oblivion first came out are having the opportunity to return to the game and experience it in all of its remastered glory. I've got to say it's hard for me to look at the Oblivion remaster and think of it as a remaster just because the graphics are so much better. It really feels much more like a remake than a remaster. As someone said, probably it would make more sense to say it's Oblivion 2.0 than it is a remaster of the old game. There's just not really much about the game other than it is the old game. There isn't much about the way it looks or feels that doesn't feel like a modern, new experience, and that really is very, very cool. I think we're pretty spoiled as gamers today to have so many different things that we can dabble in, and maybe that is a pretty good reason to say we should stop being so distracted by things that don't matter very much, things that don't intrigue us, things which stress us out or frustrate us or just overall aren't particularly edifying. It just isn't worth it. I was thinking about how sometimes I get tired of spending time with other people. I was on the road for much of this past week, and we go visit different stores, do a little bit of touring around, and it's not a hard week. It's not a lot of work, really. It's just tiring because it's a lot of road time, driving from one place to another. Tiring just because you can't really disconnect in the sense that you're spending time with other people that you're traveling with, and you have to talk to them, and you're kind of a captive audience, I guess. You just sort of start to feel like, it's exhausting. And sometimes I think about how tired I get, and I think, am I exhausted for real, or am I just tired of something? And an easy example of what I'm talking about would be if you had all expense paid trip to Disneyland with your favorite person in the world, would you suddenly be less tired? Would you suddenly have a reservoir of energy to draw off of that you didn't know you had? And if the answer is yes, then maybe some of that tiredness is just being tired of spending time focused on things which are not spiritually uplifting, or spending time with people that are not spiritually uplifting. I had a friend of mine from a few hours away come over today, and we spent a few hours just hanging around downtown looking at the shops and stuff like that, and that was real nice. Spent a little bit of time today go into the Hobby Lobby and the Walmart store to get various picture frames to frame some prints that I ordered from Amazon, and needed to find a frame that would be the right size for those. Just a few little things like that, but all in all, it's been a nice Saturday in this particular case. Just hanging around downtown, having some good company, and doing things that are interesting. Getting some steps in on the treadmill and playing some Oblivion. Life is pretty good, and when you spend less time doing things and thinking about things that just don't make your life better, like maybe what's going on in the news or something, it's interesting. But I think sometimes when you detox from it, you start to realize it's not really so much something that you want to spend time doing. It's more something that you have a habit of doing, and you take it out of your life entirely and just frees up more space so you can spend time doing other things that are a bit more interesting, a little more rewarding, a little more fun. And that's the best thing you can do. Find things that you don't really miss when they're gone, then remove them from your life. Maybe it's relationships too. Maybe it's people. There's a lot of people who they want to share your time, and you think to yourself, well, I need to be there for my friends and stuff like that. But then you realize, I'm not really getting any value out of this. I don't particularly enjoy spending time with some people. And maybe it's best just to accept that, embrace it. If you don't enjoy spending time with somebody, then just don't. I think it's interesting how people tend to sort of, I guess, treat life as if everybody in it's a bit disposable. So maybe you try to stay in touch with people, and then they kind of go MIA without warning or whatever. Like, people just don't really care, right? You can say that they do, but they don't. And then you wind up putting effort into relationships that maybe in the end amount to relatively little. And that can feel like betrayal. But then if you embrace it and you think about it objectively, then maybe it's just it's better to have the attitude that you just put time into things that matter to you. And it's really just that simple. Don't feel like you have to give people time if you don't enjoy their company. It's just like planting trees and then only investing in the ones that bear fruit, right? If it doesn't bear good fruit, then just don't invest in it. If it does, then do. Life is better lived simply. And the more I live, the more I think about it, the more I realize how tired life can make you, the more I realize that we should be putting our limited energy into things that are encouraging and enjoyable and meaningful. Spend some time reading a book, spend some time playing a game, spend some time trying your best to do a good job at the work you do. But don't spend time doing things which don't uplift you or feel fulfilling. Life's too short for that. Anyways, I guess that's about it for today. I've been spending some time getting my my new computer I just recently got set up so that I can do OBS on there and make videos while I'm using it, which is great because then I can stream or record various games that are maybe not installed on my other computer or run better on the new one. And I want to spend time maybe making videos while I'm exploring some new games, city skylines and things like that. And just having one computer with all of the games that I make videos in and about will be kind of nice. I was thinking about how sometimes we don't really take into consideration just how much time it takes to tweak things and to sort of mess around with them and get the settings right and get everything configured the way you want it to be. And there's a saying, make hay while the sun shines. Sometimes we think to ourselves, well, I can always do that some other time, but then maybe you can't, right? Like, I got this new computer and then there's new software to install on it, and it's all about getting it all kind of set up so it runs the way I want it to, and all of that. And I have time to do that, but it's something that it does take a certain degree of effort to to get everything all lined up and configured the right way. And when you're busy, that's not the time to have extra things you're trying to do. Like, I've thought about what if I took a different job at work, or something like that, right? Like, maybe I'm going to be busy later on, there's other things that can happen, like you're pursuing, personal relationships or career changes, or you're moving or whatever it might be. Sometimes it's good to get all of the kinks sorted out of things and get major big rocks handled on the front side, because that way when other things come up, you have the time and the space to focus on those other things without giving up other stuff that matters to you. You can change your priorities and you can still be good if you take care of things on the front side, maybe that can be taken care of on the front side. That kind of ties in with my recent video about focusing on getting small tasks done right away instead of kicking the can down the road. It's beneficial for your mental health, but it's also just useful to kind of logistically get yourself as much ahead of the game as possible, because we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So it's good to do things today that can be done today, instead of always waiting for some other time to get around to things, because there may not be a more convenient hour that comes for us. So make the most of each day, every moment you have, and always spend time doing things that add value to your life, and look for people who will share that value, instead of always trying to sort of figure out how maybe you can fit in with the agenda that other people have. Don't worry so much about that. And instead, I think just expose yourself to things that make you happy, and understand if you do that, then probably that's the best path to attracting other people who share values that are similar to your own. As always, best wishes, and cheers for hopefully a happy and successful day for you. As always, thank you so much for watching.